Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and someone who knows a lot about Japanese spandex. Incoming random review in 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day... You know what? I don't actually know. This is called a rainy day video. Just a review I shot to post on a day where things got a little bit too chaotic and I don't have something quite ready. So are you ready to talk about a toy that's probably old news by now? Okay, fine. But this is something of, I believe, an evergreen toy because even brand new, this thing was phenomenally popular. So I want to talk about the new animated Optimus Prime from Legacy United. So when this toy was first announced, let's be honest, when this toy was first leaked, I think everyone had the exact same fear that it would end up the way that Legacy Bulkhead did. Very untrue to the original source material, and that kind of drives everyone into a panic. I can safely say, however, that is unfounded because this is looking pretty good. So it is for all intents and purposes, this is kind of a tractor trailer slash semi-truck style cab vehicle, though it is meant to be a portion of a fire truck. True to Transformers Animated, we don't actually get a toy that represents the fire truck very well, so that's a bit of a downside. But you know what? This is how we usually saw Optimus. This is actually pretty good. It's done up in his traditional reds and blues. They're a little bit pale compared to your standard, so it does have more of a cell shade to it. It's not actually cell shaded, but the flat colors remind me more of a cartoon than some of the typical like metallic stuff they would do. There is a metallic silver stripe, so they do have that in there, but also black because that is an element of animated Optimus Prime's look. And then they have foregone the usual like bright silver and gone with more of a flat gray for a lot of the bumper and grille, as well as these big side panels. This is, again, fairly true to how the original animated toy looked. It's the same shape and proportions, though there is a little bit more greeble to detail it a little bit better, and the edges are a little bit sharper. It's not quite as round as an animated toy tended to be. So in that, it does keep the original spirit of the toy pretty intact. Like, I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out. It's definitely animated Prime. For other details of paint, the windows have all been done in black. Thank you for not making these translucent for no reason. And then, of course, you got the headlights done up. Those are both done, all done in yellow as well. Nothing toward the back, though we do have his axe accessory, which unfortunately can't pin in like the big driving mohawk way that the original one could. It just has to mount sideways on these 5mm pegs on the top of what will be his feet. Yes, this Optimus Prime, once again, really wants his feet to be visible. However, he's doing it differently now, so it actually kind of hides the gap between his legs a little bit in vehicle mode, and it actually does pass for something of where the trailer hitch would go and all that. So it's an improvement. It's an improvement over some examples that we saw recently on this channel a few weeks ago. It's not bad. It's not bad. We've definitely seen worse. 6 wheels all rolling fairly well. They're all mushroom pegged in, so don't expect it to drive across your floor very easily, but it does its job well enough. If you want to arm him up, aside from those 2 5mm ports you see on the back, there's also one on the top, which is at a bit of an angle. So that might not fit every single peg that you find. There's 2 on each side as well, though, so you can, maybe if you want, you absolutely can just find a peg on the side of his axe and just drive it around some big lance or some big laser weapon. Whatever your imagination can derive. So, you have a few little options. Nothing, terribly exciting, but good options there. Oh, also, should mention, the light bar on top is done in translucent. A little red on one half, blue on the other. Looks good, and it's just decorative. There's nothing really getting in the way on it. I believe, yes. Also removable if you just want him to have a clean cab mode as well. Oh, and that also does have a 5mm peg, so you can find some kind of creative use for it. That does open up 5 on the or 3 more on the top. So again, options. But that's about what the vehicle mode can do. It's a pretty decent retake on animated Optimus Prime. A little bit more solid, a little bit more squared off, but the spirit's definitely there. Okay, transformation time. Let me go ahead and unpeg these parts, which will become the feet. These all unpeg, and this is a cool little trick. So I'm gonna unpeg the knees there, so we can separate out the individual legs. And then we'll fold this down, clamp this whole thing shut. Yeah. Line everything, make sure it's all lined up. And that gives us the leg, and it's a very smooth leg at that. We'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Make sure it's all lined up. And double hinge the ankle. That puts the foot in the right spot. Okay. Now, we'll see. We go ahead and start on the vehicle mode at the front. I'm going to untab this first, then tab out the front. Make sure that's out of the way. The arms, what will become the arms, tab in on these gray spots. So go ahead and pop those tabs so we can start getting those out. Raising the wheels like so. Come around to the bottom. Pop that out of position off of these 2 pegs. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this around just to get it ready. Now, with the midsection popped, that will let us bring all of this down. Get that out of the way so you can see this part where I click everything together. That should all go just like that. That should line up little holes on the wheel hubs over onto little tabs like here. So there you go. That is also going to put these 2 in position to peg into this panel. Just like that. And that's going to make the torso nice and solid. Go ahead and finish that part off by closing the front of the truck onto Prime's chest. Extend the arms like so. Rotate up. Get the shoulders into their proper position. And from there, all we need to do is pop the hands. Tuck away nicely inside his forearms. Advantage to these trapezoidal arms. Good at hiding the fists. All right. I get him straightened up here, and we'll refocus the camera, because that is Prime in the robot mode. Nice, clean transformation. That's really where animated's bread and butter was. Just getting those transformations to be as smooth and clean as possible, and just being very intuitive. And this one does still have some of that feel, but it definitely has some modern tricks. You know, the shells of the rear of the vehicle becoming the legs like that really does kind of exemplify that. So he's got some modern aesthetic to him, some modern engineering, but overall, he does still feel like, you know, the original animated Optimus Prime. And it definitely helps that he doesn't have a dumb leg spin automorph thing. Definitely improves my my outlook on him. So in the robot mode, obviously we have a ton more blue visible here. Everything's come together pretty much the way you would expect. He does have, again, a little bit more of a blocky or sharp-edged look to him, but he still definitely has the look of animated Optimus Prime, which is everything I think we could hope for. And then if we turn him to the side, look at how clean he is. The slightest bit of a backpack, but it all just kind of folds up so well and collapses, and it just looks like his back. Like, it doesn't look like he has any kind of kibble whatsoever. And I would argue he does not. I would argue. Also, he's pretty solid all the way around. There's some little bit of gappage behind his knees and a little bit at the bicep, but that's pretty much it. He feels and looks like a pretty hefty figure, and that's pretty much what I hope for these days out of a Transform, especially the Voyager class. You just want a little bit of like a solid look to him and a nice heavy feel. This is what the toy has, which makes me happy. We can take a look at the head. If I zoom in and fix the focus, they spent a lot of time getting that head right. It definitely has a more generation style to it, but what makes it animated Optimus Prime is definitely there. He does have an exaggerated chin. He does have a smooth face with a sculpted in mouth, the nose hanging down from the helmet. In particular, that black tracing around his eyes and nose, that's absolutely just the spot-on animated look. It's a really nice look. It's a really nice look. I know there's people who will want his battle mask on him or lament that you can't switch between the two. I would say give it time. I don't think there's any way they don't. So, yeah, but for this release, I think it's the right call because he is seen without a mask a lot more often than most animated Optimus Primes. I like it. I like how it looks. So, beyond that, new details, nice big Autobot symbol on his shoulder, right where you expect it on an Optimus Prime. The front of the cab makes for really nice torso details, as always. There is actually a fake grille finishing off his midsection, which is painted in silver. And then, of course, traditional yellow on top of the blue for his pelvis. The legs come together real nice. Wheels all just kind of tucking away there in the lower legs. Yeah, and then, of course, like the other ones are hidden into his lower back at this point. Yeah, everything just come together really, really well. A lot of blue paint to make sure his forearms are as blue all the way around as possible, or at least from the visual front that you get. But yeah, not a whole lot of new detail, but man, it works so well. It hits the way you would expect animated Optimus to hit. So beyond that, there's not much gimmickry to him except for the axe accessory. So let me give you like a little close-up of that. It is translucent plastic. That is how the original one was done. It's not doing anything that worries me about stress or breakage at some point. So this is perfectly fine. Yeah, and it's really well painted too. The head is the red color is correct. The silver is correct. You'll also notice a 5mm port on the back, so you can attach a blast effect to make it look like his axe has a rocket thruster, just like the cartoon. Great touch. And then, yeah, you have 3 5mm ports if you want to mount it in certain ways. For Prime himself, he can actually wield it. Of course he can. But he can wield it just like that. Or, should you so wish, the handle actually fully extends, and then you can just push his hand past one and snap it into the other, which not only gives it more of an accurate look to how big it was in the cartoon, but it also will allow him to dual wield it and actually hold it in both hands, which is very, very cool. Really like that they put that effort in. I wish he had some kind of butterfly joint to make like two-handed poses a little bit more convincing, but I will take what I can get. I mean, it's still cool. Let me put it aside so I can show you just like how far the range of articulation really is. So the head is on a ball joint, goes up and down a good notch, and then full 360 degrees left and right. Full universal shoulders, always love to see that. Bicep rotation, 360 degrees around. Double jointed elbow, love the double joints. Wrist is actually on a ball joint thanks to transformation, so it has full rotation around. Waist, full rotation. Hips, all universal, full movement. Thighs, 360 degree rotation. Knees, well beyond the 90. And then if we take a look at the ankle, that's a little bit loose to use for posability. I'll say that. But he does have the normal ankle tilt, so you do have that. So let me see if I can like quickly throw him into a two-handed axe position. Just to show you that, yes, he is capable of it. You do have to kind of finagle it, but he can, he can actually do it. There we go. And with that, I'm going to call this a review. Like I said, might be dated by the time you see this, but yeah, from all expectations, this is a toy that might be around for a while, that is worth talking about from time to time, because, guys, It's really good. It's really good. I've mentioned on this channel before that Optimus Prime definitely seems to be on a roll as far as his new toys go. We've had a long string now of really, really good Optimus Prime figures, and all of them hit different notes, come from different universes, go for different aesthetics. It's a nice time to be an Optimus Prime fan. This is no exception. So, yeah, if they do more animated stuff, this is the kind of thing that gives me confidence that it's going to go well. Because this is a fantastic figure and just another really, really good Optimus Prime for the collection. So, there you go. If you can still find this guy anywhere and you've been putting it off, I know it's animated. Some people are turned off by that. It's just a really, really good figure. What can I tell you? If the aesthetic's not for you, just wait. It'll probably be retooled into someone who is. But that's what I got for you. Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next time.